Yeah, welcome to Blue Basement. Today is going to be interesting because we'll be discussing a very interesting topic that affects Nigeria or Africa at large. Yeah, we have a friend in the house. For me, he will introduce himself, but me, I'm Jude.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Ioni. I'm a friend of the platform, and thanks for having me.
As you all know, this is Cheat on the Line, man. We are good.
Yeah, so you are all welcome to Blue Basement. Thanks. Let's hit the ground running. We'll be discussing about the reason for traveling out of Nigeria, which is really called in our local parlance the Japa syndrome. Why it's gonna be extensive, and it's a personal experience for three of us that are here. You know, but everybody has their different reason, and now it's kind of a syndrome, and it's rapidly affecting different sector because we have people moving out in drones, and you know when you take out people from the different profession like that, you have lack of hands to run the different institutions. So everybody will be giving their personal experience and why the reason for going through this. Yeah, for me, I will start by asking doctor. Doctor, what is your own reason for coming to America?
Thanks for that question. I know you made a comment earlier about Japa syndrome. So not everybody left Nigeria because of Japa, right, or the
Yeah,
African
exactly.
continent. I personally came here for school, right. Fortunately, I decided to stay back, because of the my career choice. Because of my career choice, that's why I'm here today. But I understand where you're coming from about the Japa syndrome. Most people come over here because of a better living, or you would say in search of greener pastures, and that's why they're here. I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's not a good thing in terms of the effect it has on the Nigerian society, the brain drain, like you talked about. When a lot of professionals that leave, it affects the society, and that's not going to help us in any way. But personally, I came over here for schooling and decided to stay back so I can get more knowledge, and hopefully I can go back home and help my society.
But the issue is, you came here for school, right? And you have had your, qualification and your certificate and everything. You're good to go. Now, why didn't you go back to Nigeria to help Nigerians?
The better was to say that, but at the same time, I feel like I need to get more experience over here before I can go back home and help the society back home, right? In terms of healthcare, but that's the main reason why I haven't gone back.
Yeah.
But going back at the same time, what are you going back to? Wherever you're going to, everyone is trying to leave. So how are you going to influence the society when everybody is leaving and the environment is not stable for you to be of help? So that's the reason why I'm still here.
So do you think at any time or at any point you will, go back home to Nigeria?
I could not to go leave over there,
Yeah.
because I have my family over here.
Okay.
So I wouldn't. That's not a factor for me at this point in time, right? So,
Yeah.
but going back home to Nigeria is to go help the society, not to go live there,
Okay.
because I don't think one man can. I could change things, but I don't think one man alone can do the job of affecting the society.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
talking
true.
about the reason for leaving, or what's the question, like you made a comment at the same time, it's like a question. What are you going back to? I know for a fact that the one of the biggest problem that Nigeria or African as a continent has is the leadership, infrastructure, which it's coming up a little bit, but you know people really find greener pasture anywhere they go, or you can also get greener pasture in Nigeria depending on what you're doing. So if you say what you're going back for, I think that's one of the biggest problem we are having, like infrastructure, type of leadership, and all that. I think some people will say that's their reason for leaving, but I will say, if you ask the question, what are you going back for? You can also create something Don't you think so?
Absolutely. There's always there are a lot of things you can do when you go back home, right? So of course I want to go back home one day. By the end of the day, going there to help the society in what capacity? So when you decide to do that, is the environment conducive for you to do that? That's a question you're going to ask yourself. Like I said, I made a comment earlier. It's not a one man thing, right? So it has
Yes.
to be a collaborative effort. Everybody has a role to play. So if you're trying to go do something back home to better society, are the people over there receptive to that change? That's one thing you need to ask yourself.
And another thing, like what you said, this reminds me about our politicians. Most of our politicians, they lived abroad, and they schooled over here, and they came
Yeah,
over here for
true.
different reasons, and they went back home. Now they are politicians. What are they doing? They are criminals. What are they doing? Right? Have they made any changes? No.
No
They
positive
have
change.
not. They have not made any changes. Instead, what they do is when they go back home, probably they go back home with good intention, but I don't know what corrupts their mind, because once they get into the system, there seems to be among the bandwagons, right? They start doing things that other people are doing. They become corrupt, right? And start, stealing, and they don't care about masses. They are much more interested in amassing wealth. Because I know some of them. I really do know some of them who schooled over here, who worked over here, who gained a lot of experience, incredible people. But I don't know what happened when they go back home and they become politicians. They drastically change. They become so insensitive and so corrupt. They don't care about the people anymore. But while they were here, they were one of those people complaining about the corrupt practices, of the government, right? Now, when they go back home, everything is just, it's
And which is
crazy.
really unfortunate because, like you said, you come over here in a better society where you gain all the knowledge, all the experiences, and you saw what the leaders back home were doing
Yeah.
to effect changes. They're not doing anything better. So
Yeah.
you went back home with pure intentions to help. But when you get there, if you can't beat them, you got to join them.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's not a one
But
man thing.
I will not
So-
agree with if you can't beat them, you join them.
But that's
because
what is going on, though.
Yeah,
That's what's
exactly.
happening.
Sure.
Because we got to face the truth, right?
Yeah.
It's
they will
reality.
always say a tree cannot make a forest, but no matter what it is, you can also impact or do what you can do to an extent. But I agree to an extent that where every other person is corrupt, difficult to do something. But I also agree because if you use the like of Okonjo-Iweala and the late Dora Quinley, they were making impacts.
Yeah. And
They were making impacts.
somebody's mother
Like,
was kidnapped,
What
right?
was the end
Terrence?
result?
Who?
What was
No,
it?
if I could remember
it's,
properly.
it's just issue of mentality and continuity of those processes or those policies, which sometimes, like she was saying, when she was Minister of Finance, Okonjo-Iweala, I'm talking about, she said she started creating a software where they weeded out ghost workers and all that. But when she left, at the first time with Obasanjo, when she left, they stopped the project. But she had to come back again to complete that project. Eventually, when they completed the project, they were like thousands of persons weeded out from the civil service ghost workers. But if she had not come back to continue,
Yeah.
there will be no result.
It's still been
So,
sinking. And that's
No, what I'm trying to say is somebody can start it and there will be a result no matter what it is. But talking about the Japa of a thing, or talking about the traveling out of Africa of a thing, coming here or going to any part of the globe, we have different reasons and everybody has their different experience.
Not traveling. Use the word flee, because we all flee.
mean,
At the slightest opportunity, we escape. Call it escape. You know what I'm saying?
Most times is about most times is about the economy. It's about getting a better life. Even for you came here for school, and now you've acquired that knowledge. You got in the certificate, and you're working right here. So why don't you take it back to Nigeria? You are saying if you go back, you can continue because of
Right. And
process. You know.
No, it's a fair question, right? And it's
Yeah.
you got to think about it that way. So I'm here for a reason, a particular reason, right?
Okay.
So, but think about my colleagues. I didn't really train in Nigeria, right? In terms of the health sector, I can't speak more about it.
Yeah.
Even though I used the facilities before I left, right?
Okay.
But I was much younger.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak, but I have friends that are back home and in the medical field. Why are they trying to leave? Because it's not helping them in any way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the brain drain we're talking about. They're over there doing everything they need to do, but at the same time, how can you be working for months trying to help people and not even, I'm not talking about the private sector right now, and you're not getting paid?
Even the private sector, you don't get paid. It's the
So
same
think
thing.
about it. So that's not a good, a stable society for someone to want to, be there to help anybody. So when you're in a situation like that, you cannot be the only one person fighting it. So why would you expect me? I know a bunch of doctors are over here. Why they not before me? They came before me, and I'm just a beginner. Why they not back home? That's the same reason, because they're not going to be the one to go back there, and you trying to help people, you trying to perform surgeries and do it. No power. So all of the amenities are not working. So it's
Yeah.
just the socio-economic issues you got to consider.
Okay.
So if there's lack of security and a bunch of other things, it's not going to work. So I want to go
Yeah.
help, but at the same time, are you going to create an environment, an enabling environment for me to do that?
Okay, so this comes down to, let me just be specific about this. So, what do you think are the fundamental reasons why people actually leave? Why people actually flee? Why people
Yeah.
actually escape from the country, to other countries looking for greener pastures, just like you said, better employment and security, right? So what are the fundamental issues there?
Yeah, education, which you did mention, just being one of yours.
One of it, right.
So add the rest.
But those are the things. The things, most of the reasons why people are leaving, those are things you just mentioned. I said about the socio-economic issues, right?
Okay.
So if you don't lack of security, people are going to leave.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to live in a sane environment. Nobody wants to go out. When you leave the house to go to work and come back, you want to come back in one piece to meet your family, right? You come back, when there's security, Boko Haram, for instance,
Yeah.
you go to work, you go to school, and you're not coming back to your family.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity to leave, guess what? You're going to be out of there. Employment. There's a research that says 75% of Nigerians, I'll use Nigeria as an example, right? Because that's where I'm familiar with. They have at least a tertiary education, right? So they have certifications and all that.
Yes.
But guess what? There are no jobs. What do you expect that person to do if he has the opportunity to leave the shores of the country?
Yeah.
They're going to leave.
Yeah.
And most people, they go through different means to come over here. Italy, go through the Mediterranean seas and dangerous
Yeah,
ways
true.
to leave. And that's not okay.
That's so risky, man.
That's not okay. But guess what? They don't have a choice. The government, how is all boils down to the government. If they create an enabling environment for people, no one is going to want to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are Americans leaving here to go live in other parts of the world?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they have it good, but they're comfortable in some ways. The basic amenities that they need to survive, to function, they have it. So if you don't have power, you don't have good schools, you don't have jobs, there's poverty, no one is, if you have the opportunity to leave, they're going to leave. And they see things in social media space and feel like, oh, everyone is doing good over here. That's not the case. But at the end of the day, it's still a better living compared to back home. So those are the things I would say that's the main reason why people are fleeing, like you said.
Yeah.
They're not just japping, they're running away.
They escape. They be like,
some people will say, or some people will argue that America is working, or other Western world, they are working because of institution being created. Do you really think it's issue of creating an institution or making people that's going to make Nigeria work or Africa work or stop this jackpassing?
It's tough to say. I mean, it's a mindset thing. Like,
Not institutional mindset?
no, that goes a long way too. The institutions, you got to create it. So you talked about Okenji Iweala that came back home and did a whole lot of things, right? Guess what? When she left, what was the continuity? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't there.
Wasn't
So
there.
if you don't change the mindset about people, about what's going on back home, it's not going to cause any change. You create any institution you want to create, guess what's going to happen? It's still going to rot.
Yeah.
Because nothing is working. So if you change the mindset of the average Nigerian, and that starts from the schooling and everything, let them know what it entails, or what how you can make an environment work. I feel like most people, if you change their mindset, that's going to go a long way. Apart from the institution, of course, that matters a lot. But if you create that mindset shift, about most people thinking it's not about living and not about leaving the country, the shores of the country, you feel like you're just going to make it wherever you go to. But if you change the mindset and say, okay, we can actually make Nigeria work if we do the right things, I feel like most people, and they actually see the change from the leaders, from the top to the bottom, most people will stay. They'll stay behind. So if nothing is working, no, you cannot change that.
So when you talk about mindset is personal, right? Mm-hmm. When you talk about mindset, and this reminds me hugely that, there are people back home in Nigeria who are making it big time, who are, financially independent, and who have found their feet in terms of wealth. They are wealthy people out there, right. Young guys true. Who are thriving every minute of the day, who has visions and who are pursuing their visions, and they are back home, with all these kind of lack and all this kind of insecurity that we are talking about. They are still thriving and they are still making it big time with all the hardships. So when you talk about mindset, I think is personal. Some people in Nigeria will tell you, I'm not going to leave. They will tell you, Nigeria is the best place to be. Nigeria is the best place to do business, right? And those people believe, it has to do with their mindset, because mindset is everything. Mm-hmm. And this, boils down to one, I can say, unofficial truth or unexposed truth. If you ask me, I will tell you that people don't know. But one of the reasons why people flee from this country or from Nigeria, is because of they don't know that religion is their problem. Religion.
That's a total division.
No, hold on. Yeah, I'm coming.
Wow. I mean, I guess it's going somewhere.
And
that's part of the mindset.
Exactly. It's part of the mindset. Yeah, the religion aspect of it, wow. People don't even know. A lot of people escape from the country out of frustration. And the frustration is as a result of, let me tell you, wholly and entirely is as a result of the frustration of faith, right? And let me tell you, religion has done more harm and damage than government has done.
I can believe that.
Religion I don't agree with that.
Okay, I'm coming. I will make it clear to you. Religion has done more harm than government has actually done, because I find out that most of these people who are escaping from Nigeria to other countries, they are Christians. They are so-called Christians, right? And after many years, they have prayed and fasted with no result, with no tangible thing to show for it. They go to church every day, every Wednesday, and every Friday, and every Sunday. They gather in the church and they keep praying, and it leads to frustration because they are doing something wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are doing something wrong. So frustration is the major cause, is the reason why people leave. So when you pray for, Christians, they go to church because of miracle.
That's what we're talking about.
Right?
The mindset.
The mindset. They go because of miracle. They want God to do something for them. Miracle. Pastors will even preach that, they will give you, I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody will tell you that I woke up in the morning and see my bank account and, it's filled up with millions of naira and stuff like that. And you will wonder, where the money is coming from. And people keep praying. Right. I see people pray. People wake up in the middle of the night, online, and they are praying. I don't know one pastor, I don't know his name,
The one that they do online right now.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with prayer.
No, there's nothing wrong. I'm coming. There's nothing wrong with prayer, right. But, people are frustrated. So because they are frustrated, they leave. And
So the religion frustrates them and they leave
Re-
Nigeria.
What's the reason for praying though?
Yeah.
Like, how can you be praying?
How
for
can you be
power?
praying and you're not getting
I
any
pray
result?
For like, that's a prayer point. Like, okay, I need.
So if you pray in Nigeria, you get frustrated. You come up to America,
No,
you pray
no,
too,
no.
and you get frustrated.
I guess I mean
When you pray
that's
in
his
America,
point,
you
though.
get frustrated. Where
But
will
what
you
I'm
go to?
saying is like there's a lot of things to consider. It's not just the religious part of it, right?
Yeah.
So, but you can't say, oh, most people even just to Japa that we're talking about, they fasting and praying to Japa. Like why? Like why would you even do that? Before you go to the embassy for an interview, you're praying and fasting. Like why? What's the essence of that?
Yeah.
If you're trying to leave with good intentions or whatever where you're going, why can't go? Why don't you go to an immigration officer and talk and interview and have a conversation and just a pastor will tell you, if you got the visa by any means, because I prayed for you, that's why you got it.
Exactly. That it doesn't make sense. And do you know that people are more easily, you can brainwash people and manipulate people easily than letting people know that they are being manipulated and brainwashed.
But they're not going to believe that's the mindset I'm talking about.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things need to change.
Yeah.
So with the way people are thinking back on right now, no matter what institution you put back there and stuff like that, you create the jobs and all that, the way they're all raised and all, it's still going to affect them. Unless they get, I'm not saying you can't be like an average American, but I'm just saying like, just in general, things that we just have to take like for face value and just the way it's supposed to be. What are you, like I said, what are you praying for power for? When I mean power, electricity, how could that be a prayer point?
But
you to have power?
if you look at
How can that be a prayer point?
That's what I'm saying. That's something that's basic.
Why are you praying for power, right? Electricity.
Like why?
But prayer, religion.
Listen, Jude, since I was a little boy,
If
I
you
was
say
born.
prayer
Hold on.
religion is
Hold on. Hold on. I was
reason
born.
for Japa,
Excuse me.
I don't know.
Jude.
But praying for power is still going back to where the question I was asking about institution. Institutions are not created by just one person sitting down there. Institutions are created by people in government. And when they create this institution, it goes back to where you go to, how you do things, and how you react to what it's being done by someone else and all that. And when you talk about institution, you're talking about your school, the what do you call it, officials right from the principal down, your local government, the local government chairman down, the judiciary, how does it operate? And when you create all those institutions, then since our mind is scattered, then you now blend it with orientation. And if you have that orientation, put it together in working with the institution that is being created, things will definitely go.
This is not going to work. The system is corrupt.
Orientation goes to issue of mindset you are talking about. So if you give a good orientation, definitely it's gonna crawl before it walks.
Right. That's why I say it's got to start from somewhere. I'm not going to cut you off, right?
Yeah.
It starts from somewhere. So that's why that's a mindset shift I'm talking about. So if it starts from the grassroots where, primary school, what we call primary school, because that's when, you start from you can start thinking on your own and learning things and stuff like that. Imagine someone that's teaching you how to do things differently. It doesn't even know no better.
Yeah.
How you going to change? How you going to learn? So whoever's going to do
But
that,
if you
put
create
these
an
in place.
institution, creating an institution, not just creating a building, it's creating rules. When you talk of teacher, you create an institution, give a better employment to the best. So that's, you have a good teacher already.
Right.
So when you create an institution, you have a good teacher. You create an institution as to all the rules of employing a teacher, the rules of voting in a president, the rules of voting in a governor, the rules of voting in a local government chairman. So if all those institutions work, we already have all those institutions anyway, but it's just to put the right people there. And when those rules work, and you get this orientation on all those people, definitely it's going to work.
Is anything working back home though? Like what sector of the economy is working back home? Let's just be
Everything is failing, but gradually it's gonna work. I believe it's gonna work.
I mean, of course, that's
No,
the,
I mean, yeah, of course, yes.
That's the outcome. That's
Yes.
what we all want because
That's
all
what
our
we all
families
want,
back
yeah.
home, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to be here living a good life, and we will feel like we're living a good life, and most of our family members over there, they kind of like, they're not enjoying whatever we're enjoying, and that's what we want to happen.
Yeah,
and that's
true,
the essence
true.
of us doing all of this. We can talk about all of the problems over and over and over again. At the end of the day, we'll have to come up with solutions. What is the solution, or what are the solutions?
Yeah. Institution.
Right, but what's going to put that in place?
Yeah.
Me and you.
Oh man, yeah, we're over here, right? And most people are still trying to come and meet us over here. And the people we expect to do cause those changes, they're not trying to do it.
Let me
They're
tell you.
amassing wealth, like you mentioned earlier. Like they're thinking about their pockets, not
Yeah.
thinking about how to better the nation. Like it's not fair.
Yeah, and another way to, when we talk about mindset, religion. Let me tell you something. You don't know the evil. The greatest Satan, the greatest power of Satan is ignorance. We talked about ignorance earlier, right? Now, people are so ignorant that they don't even know that they are being brainwashed and manipulated by these religious leaders. And that makes them lazy. They keep coming to church, or they keep going, doing all those religious rituals, believing that their performance is what is gonna, get them rich or get them in a better position or in a better place. And that is not true.
It's not.
That is not true.
It's not.
So that's where I'm telling you that religion brings frustration.
It's
And
really
frustration
frustrating.
cause-
I can
and
give you an
frustration
example.
cause
I can give you an example.
Yes.
And this is personal, right? I
Yeah.
can tell you about my mom. My mom's back home, right? She works for the local government. Guess what? We're talking about, creating an enabling environment and making things work and whatnot. Guess what? My mom works for the local government. Every day, guess what our supervisor is telling her to do? Oh, you got to be at the office at 7 o'clock so we can have morning devotion.
Yes.
A government worker, you need to come to work every day. I'm not making this up, right? So, make that make sense. What are you praying for? What are you praying for? Okay, you coming to do a devotion at work every day?
Yeah.
And my mom's not going to lie to me, right? And we're talking about this particular situation. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because of you mentioned religion.
Yeah.
And that's not a topic I love talking about.
No, I love to talk about it. I love
we
to
all
talk
love
about
God,
it.
right? We want
Yeah, I love to
believe
talk
in-
about it.
we believe in
Because
God
I
and all
know
that.
that-
By the end of the day, it's like,
No,
okay.
but that would be religion would be a topic for another.
No,
day, because
it's going to be a topic for another
Absolutely,
day.
but what I'm
Absolutely.
saying is like-
the Japa syndrome, I don't think personally that religion it's causing Japa.
It is.
Because it's not direct.
It's not the cause of it. It's not the direct cause.
It's
of
not
it.
the direct cause.
It's not
That's the
direct cause
problem.
of
Yeah,
it.
it's not the
Yeah, right.
direct cause. But let me tell you something. It's not the direct cause. But it's just like what you mentioned about a pastor selling soap and water and stuff like that, and people are rushing to buy. Listen, my people, they are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And where there is no vision, the people perish. Let me tell you something. The problem we have, the greatest weapon of Satan is ignorance. Is ignorance. When I look at these people, when I see these people, when I watch these people in those churches, I weep, I cry.
So how many of those churches or how many of those church people that has the opportunity of jackparing?
But
listen,
that's the thing, though. They don't have the opportunity.
They don't
and that's
have-
why
they
they're
are
still there.
praying
They're
for
still in
it.
that
They are
mindset,
praying.
that state.
Yes.
They can't change. And guess what they're looking up to? The man of God. That's what
Yes.
they're looking up to.
Oh my God.
And
Now, this reminds me something.
They trust, they believe, they feel like, believing in God and praying and everything is going to cause that change. I can guarantee you that's not going to cause any
That
change.
is not. No, Bobo, listen, Bobo, let me tell you something. Now, I was born, raised, bred, Catholic, right? And since when I was a kid, we used to say one prayer, Nigeria in distress. We pray for Nigeria in distress, just like a prayer that we repeat every Sunday, we say this prayer for Nigeria. Things has not gotten any better.
They've been praying
There
for
is
years.
there is no shift. Everything is getting worse. Everything is getting worse, right? So these people that are being manipulated are lazy. They are lazy set of people. And after many years, you find out that, for example, you're looking for fruit of the womb. After 5 years, now they tell you to pray. You don't pray so that God will answer you. No, listen, let me tell you something. I'm sorry that I'm digressing a little bit, you understand? But trying to let you know about the frustration of the people, right? Now you are praying for something. You are praying for sickness, for example. You are sick and you go to church and you keep praying every day for God to heal you. You have one kind of sickness or disease. You pray every day. It doesn't work like that. God has already even answered you before you pray, right? But the pastor doesn't want you to leave. He wants you to keep coming to the church.
He wants you to remain in that state.
Yeah, he wants you to listen. He wants you to keep coming, because when you keep coming, you're giving offering, you're contributing, right? Now, sometimes I ask myself, do they know better, or they are manipulating and brainwashing these people? Because I am kind of confused, right? I'm kind of confused. Listen, neither will they say, there is a place in the Bible say, neither will they say, lo, it is here or there. But the kingdom of God is within you. What is that kingdom of God, bro? Healing everything. You're going to a church, to a pastor, to look for a healing, and you have the healing in yourself.
But in some ways, you're not going to blame them, though. That's what they feel is working for them. That's the same thing I was talking about, the mindset
But
change,
that is
right?
ignorance.
That's what it's all part of what we talked about. That
So if you have ignorance, right? Who are you going to blame? Yourself.
Right, because there's everything for you to learn. There are things for you to read and to better yourself. But most of the people we're talking about, most of them, they're not even exposed. Even the ones that are exposed, they still do that. Like someone can be in Nigeria and praying every day, going to church and all that. But the moment you come to
just like you said, let's not digress a lot. Just like you said, But my point is this: it leads to frustration, and most of the people who are jackpotting and fleeing the country, they are all Christians. And when I mean Christians, they are all these church goers, right? They go to church every Sunday and they pray. One of their prayer intentions is for God, as I'm going for this interview, as I'm going for this, whatever, let them approve my whatever, right, so that I can travel, right? So it's crazy. It's crazy. You will get to a point, I'm telling you, you will get to a point where you will find out that you cannot find God in church. God is not in church. God is there.
It's in your heart.
You will get to a place in your life where you will not even go to church again. But listen, hold on.
But that's what happens, though. When they come over here, you go to church every day back home in Nigeria. You come over here, you're fully employed. Like, where you gonna have the time to go to church every day?
So do you advise people to leave the country?
That's a good question.
It's a good question, but it's a very difficult question, to be honest, right? So, like I said, we all have families back home, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we want them to experience whatever we're experiencing and all that. Personally, anyone that has the chance to leave the right way, I would say go for it.
Yeah.
And that's just me being honest, right? Go for it. Not going through
for it because it's better over here, because you can't make it in Nigeria.
You can make it in Nigeria, but the chances of you making it for you to make it here, I think is better. I mean, man, what we're talking about making it over, what do we mean by make it? Right, you can live a comfortable life, right? You don't have to be a billionaire, or a millionaire to live a comfortable life.
I like what you. This question, I love this question.
Yeah, because it's a tough one. I'm gonna advise people to leave if you have the means and if you're coming here for a good cause, right? Not just you come because they feel like you coming to America or you going to any of the European countries, that's how you go. No, that's not the main cause of it, right? Or that's what we're looking for. I feel like advising them to come over is like, okay, is there a real reason that you live in?
Exactly.
Is there maybe you just because Nigeria is bad, that's why I want to leave? Okay, you coming over here? We're talking about the government. They still got a plan for people that are here.
Yeah.
You're not just coming here and just you're gonna sit on your butt and not do anything. So you coming here. Are you the reason for your migration, right? Are you coming for education, or I would just want to leave because the country is bad.
Yeah.
Because people you coming to meet over here, they still it's not easy over here as well. People just think, you coming to America, go to European countries, or everything's going. It's not bread and butter. You got to do the put in the work. I'm gonna let you. I just want to touch something because he asked that question, right?
Yeah.
Definitely, I advise people to leave, but go about it the right way. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Go about it the right way. Not just, because I want to leave, because at the end of you trying to leave, anybody going to sell you a dream and you come over here. Some people, I've heard stories. I don't know. I don't have a personal experience. I've heard stories how people are trying to leave and the money they can use to better themselves back home, they're spending in the hands of agents trying to help you leave and they're losing your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely would encourage people to leave, but do it the right way.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that.
To me, I think it's a personal decision, right?
Yeah.
And then, personally, if I knew what I know now, apart from insecurity in Nigeria, I will not leave Nigeria. Now, one of the reasons I would advise people, if you have any chance to leave, is the state of insecurity in Nigeria is too high. It's too high. You live in your house, you're not sure if you're coming back home.
But people still
The
live
rate-
in Nigeria now.
Yeah, the rate of
People still go to school,
exactly
go to work.
exactly.
People
But you know,
people are
every
enjoying
time
themselves.
your family leave the house, you know your mind is not at rest. You're restless, right? Because it's prevalent. It's just common.
Don't
The
you
rate
think
of
because you don't live over there, that's why your mind is not at rest?
yeah,
But people
the
go
rate,
and come back every
yeah,
day.
I know. The rate of insecurity, right? But we still have insecurity. People are suffering from one angle. People are cool in another angle, right? Yeah, it's kind
It
of
happens everywhere,
Yeah,
right.
it's you know. But the point is, whatever is happening to my neighbor is happening to me. Whatever is happening to another state is happening to my state,
True.
right? Yeah. So on that level, I would advise if you have any means to leave, you leave, because insecurity is the worst thing that can happen to any nation. You know, so but when it comes to the the economic aspect of life in Nigeria, I can tell you, I know we have a lot of opportunities here, golden diamond opportunities here, that you can grab and you can become skyrocket. Now, but I tell you that it's easy for you to make it in Nigeria than here.
I mean,
So you will not advise people to leave. That's what you're saying.
No,
he said it's a personal decision.
Yeah, it's a personal
right?
decision.
Yeah.
But my point is, if you are living for insecurity reason, I will approve it automatically without even questioning anything. But if you are living based on the economic situation of Nigeria, I will kind of hesitate and tell you that based on the mindset, it's all about your mindset. And I will boldly tell you, probably you don't have any vision, because you can still make it in Nigeria, because there are a lot of people who are making it in Nigeria right now.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are making it. A lot of people are making it. Let me tell you, a lot of people in Nigeria who has vision and who are pursuing their vision, they are doing it big time more than us who are abroad.
Exactly, but then again,
It's tough. Life here is
it's not easy.
It's tough.
People don't realize.
I know
though.
I know that if you break away, if you break the rules, don't break the law here, but break
Right.
the rules.
People
If
don't
you break the
realize
rules,
it.
if you break the rules and you get to the top, cool. That's cool. That's America for you. You will be one of the big shots. No problem about that. But I'm telling you that most people are doing they are doing well in Nigeria. You know why? It's not because of the enabling environment. I think one of the reasons is because, like here, anything you're doing, you're thinking about the bills are too much.
I mean, but that's a part of a stable society.
Yeah, unstable.
though. I mean,
but in Nigeria, you can maneuver things. You can maneuver things in Nigeria.
You can, because right, guess we always
You
say
can
when there's no
maneuver
law, there's
things,
no sin,
and-
right? You don't pay taxes. How you
Jude,
go?
me and Jude, if we were still back home in Nigeria, he knows this is a smart guy. He knows he would have been on another,
life is
another level. That's the truth.
I mean, we all believe that, though. We all believe that.
but it's all about money.
But in general,
It's
that's,
not about
that's
money.
the point I'm
Yeah,
making.
it's not
is
about
that,
money.
we need a comfortable life.
Now
right?
we need comfortable life, and exposure means a lot. I think people. I don't want to. I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not putting people down, but your sense of reasoning and articulation here, they are different from people back home.
Yeah,
Right. So, I mean, like you said, what's the essence of you trying to leave Nigeria? Are you trying to leave because you want to come live? You think there's a better life over here, or what's the reason? He says it's a personal decision. By the end of the day, it's like, okay, you talking to the general population. Okay, why are they trying to leave? Most people are trying to leave because they feel like things are not working.
Yeah.
But that's not always the truth.
That's
right?
not
Because
you are not
it's
the
not
one
easy
working.
over here. People don't realize that. It's not. People
Exactly.
feel like the moment they step their foot in America, like, oh, they're gonna be overnight celebrity, or they're gonna make it. They're gonna be rich overnight. Like, it doesn't work that way
At all.
there are steps that you got to take. I mean, a lot of steps you got to take for you to be able to get to that point or wherever you're trying to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So that's just the truth. So I would say, if you want to leave, security reasons, of course, go for it.
You go for it.
You want a better life for your kids? Go for it. By the end of the day, there's always when you do all of those things, no, when you live in a different society or another man's country, I'll put it that way, no, there's always a disadvantage to everything you're doing as well, right? So because at the end of the day, your kids are all raised here.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing about
So my
about what
advice.
you have back home. So it's a lot to it, right? So I feel like I can't advise anybody to. Let me put it this way to answer your question again. I guess I got to change my mind. I feel like I would say go for it if you want to, but there should be a good reason for you to leave the country.
Now, exactly.
Life is a choice.
Yeah, it's a
Everybody
choice.
has their own choice to make. But if you tell people, like I see so many people on social media, I will always say they're always deceiving, or they're always being economical with the truth when they try to. You stay in America and you tell people in Nigeria, don't come here, America is hard. There's so much dignity in labor in America. In Nigeria, there is also dignity in labor. But do you get the reward for the labor in Nigeria? Do you get the reward for the labor in America? I would say in America, yes, you get the reward for your labor.
Absolutely.
But in Nigeria, no, you don't get the reward for your labor.
Yeah.
So, and everybody wants to live a better life. So if you have the opportunity, as you say, go for it. You know, in the right way. In the right way.
The right way, yeah.
You know, America is better. Nigeria is better. So depending on what you're doing, or depending on how you look at it, you know, you can definitely make it better. The truth about it, I have experience in both of it. In Nigeria, I have experience. In America, I have experience.
Yeah.
I've worked in Nigeria. I've worked in America.
Yeah.
And I'm living very well in both of them.
Yeah.
But if you ask me which one is more, it's America.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, as I said, there's dignity
the
in
reward.
labor, and there's more reward in the labor in America. So people compare. Oh, you live in America. You earn, assuming you earn $1,000 a month, and you pay bills and bills and bills. In Nigeria, compare the bills in Nigeria and compare the bills here with what you make and what you make here. It's not. There's no comparison to that.
That's one thing
There's
when
no
you all need
comparison.
to
So
change.
people should stop deceiving people in Nigeria. If you have the opportunity, leave. There's more reward in labor in America than in Nigeria.
And the average Nigerian, they're hard workers. Like me,
Yeah, yes,
you know what I mean?
Nigerians are
Like they're
hardworking
gonna
people.
whenever they come over here, if you want to make a decent and honest living, trust me, if you put in that work, you're gonna see
Because
the reward,
there's
right?
dignity in
But at the end of the
labor,
day,
yeah,
it's
and
like
there's
okay,
reward
it's all
in
about
labor.
planning. It's
So
all
stop.
about planning.
But-
So don't sit down there and tell people don't come to America.
But,
America
dude,
is hard. I'm
based on that-
I'm
based-
living in
listen,
cool.
Most people are not telling the truth.
No.
No, that's what we're
They
talking
don't- they
about.
don't
Most
tell the
people they
truth.
feel like most people will still watch this interview, right? That we're having right now. Okay, you can be nicely dressed and all that. They feel like, oh yeah, you doing well, you doing, but it's not always like that.
It's not.
It's
It's
about
like,
what-
you want to
what
see
do
me
you
where
look-
I'm going to work? Do you want to see me when I'm going to work?
Exactly.
You can't
So
see me
we
when
gotta
I'm
tell
going to
them the
work.
truth. You
I'm
said
not
they-
carrying camera to go to work.
They're being economical with the truth.
Yeah.
Tell them what is going on. Tell them the reality. Like, yeah, it's good to live here in America, but you got to put in that work.
Yes.
You're not gonna come over here and sit on your butt and feel like, oh yeah, money's gonna fall from on the trees and you're gonna
Yeah.
be it's not, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but now let
So
me
if
tell
you
you.
finally advise people, Emma, so that we'll just wrap
Oh
up.
yeah, so let me tell you, some people, you know, to me, I believe that some people advise people not to come to America, or not only America, Europe, Asia.
Right.
You know, their intention was not to deceive people. Their intention is just to let you know that it's not easy over here.
But they
You
don't
know.
say the way it is.
Hold on, like it's
They're
not
telling the
it's not
truth.
easy over
Say-
here,
some
right?
people say you are comparing bread in America and bread in Nigeria.
Hold on, because
For
why I'm
what?
saying this is so many people, they have worked, and I mean here in America they have worked, they are hard worker, they work so hard, they have nothing to show for it in terms of savings. Listen, hold on, I'm coming. And I believe some of these guys or some of these people who are telling people back home, don't come or hear stuff, I think some are being sincere in their mind. I mean, sincerity is not honesty.
Some people
You
just
know,
want to exist.
I
They
feel
don't
like
want
it's
to
based on
live.
their experience.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
it. They just want to exist. They don't want to live.
Yes, so people are being sincere about it, right? Like they will tell you because it's tough here. It's tough. It's
not
tough.
right.
It's really tough.
True.
I'm telling you, it's tough. And you will make it more.
Then you get reward for
Hold on,
that
hold on.
work
You will
put
make it
and-
if you have vision. If you have vision, you know what
You
you're
see.
doing. If you have vision
That's
and you
the
know what
issue
you're
of
doing,
choice.
you will make it more in Nigeria than you will make it here in America. I'm telling you. But just like Jude said, you know,
What
just
is
take
making it though?
Okay,
That's the point. That's the end result. I'm talking. What do we mean by making it?
okay, what I mean by making it is, you know, let me say in terms of material and financial, you know, aspect of life. You know, back home in Nigeria, you can just, let me use the word maneuver. You can maneuver things. You can do a lot of things. And if you have vision, because I keep talking about vision, if you have vision, if you know what you're doing and you pursue what you're doing relentlessly, you know, you keep doing it, you will kind of, you know, succeed in what you're doing than here, because here we have a lot of distraction. Even when you have a goal, even when you have your personal dreams that you want to pursue here, right here in America, you have your dream. Probably you want to be a musician or you want to be an actor or something like that. Right here, it's not easy for you to, you know, achieve those kind of dreams because
But if you walk towards it, sure.
no, if you walk towards it, there is a lot of distraction. There is this interesting distraction. There is this, you know, big
What's the
distraction.
The bills.
They are big distractions. I'm telling you,
I mean,
they
it starts from somewhere. though.
no, it starts from somewhere, but they are big distractions. There are people here with big dreams here, right here in the country.
Yeah.
They migrated here with big dreams. They want to do stuff, but I'm telling you that responsibilities when it comes to America, because you have to be up and doing, you know, is a lot of distraction for them. At the end of the day, they end up or they settle, you know, on the average level, you know, doing what they're doing, being paid their salary, and the dream just what dies. Yeah, that's the problem. But back home in Nigeria, you know, you can maneuver things. You know, you can, you know how it is back home in Nigeria. You can do things.
You tell us. You
yeah,
gotta
you
tell
can do
us.
things. And you
I
can,
don't know.
You gotta tell us.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. You gotta tell us because
Okay,
So,
let me
doctor-
narrow it down. Let me narrow it down.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute. Let me narrow it down. Now, we have a lot of these kit makers, right? Back home in Nigeria who are making millions of
Yes.
naira, millions, probably dollars. I don't know. But they are making money big time, right? And we have a lot of people here too who are very funny and, you know, by nature, they work in warehouses, they work as scrum masters, they work as, you know, in the hospital. And those ones back home, I'm telling you, either they live in their friend's house, in their parents' house, or if they manage to pay 1 year rent, it's over, right? Now they have all the time in the world to do whatever they want to do all the crazy. You see all the crazy on the internet, on social
Right, we
media.
see that.
You know, on social media, you see all of them. But here, you cannot, you know, not that you cannot, let me not use the word you cannot, but it's going to be kind of difficult and hard for you to, you know, delve into that kind of, you have that kind of luxury and liberty to do those kind of things because you have things going on here.
yeah, of course, you don't have the liberty of time to do whatever
Yeah,
you want to do here.
sometimes.
Like
So-
for the most part, we're being controlled by, you know, most people have a job 9 to 5. I work, right? So you get up early in the morning. And you go
You
to
know
work,
how
you
we
come out,
work
like,
here.
That's very difficult.
And those guys back home, they will wake up in the morning and they will start doing their
But
skit.
it's not. Trust
No,
me. I wouldn't
I'm
say
talking
the
about
process,
material.
the
I'm
putting
talking
into
about
that, the work, the hard
Well,
work
well
they
if
put
we
into.
keep going, I think
We're not going into
Yeah,
that, right? So I mean, in
that's
conclusion,
true.
I mean,
Yeah, in
in conclusion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Doctor.
definitely encourage somebody. You know, if you
Yeah.
have the means, you know, if you're coming here for a good reason and not just okay, I want to Japa, I want to leave Nigeria because Nigeria is not good. That's why I'm coming over here. You're coming in for a rude awakening because when you come over here, it's not as black and white like you think it is over here.
Yeah.
When you come over here, you're gonna put in that work for you to achieve whatever you want to achieve.
me
right?
too.
And which is good. So in summary, I would say, yeah, go for it. Go for it the right way. Plan yourself accordingly. I don't expect you to go through Libya or the Mediterranean Sea because you're looking for greener pastures.
Yeah,
Guess
exactly.
what? That's too dangerous for you to do that. So if you have a clear plan, a vision to do whatever you want to do, I definitely would say go for it.
Yeah, so I concur with you when you say clear plan and clear vision. You know, don't just come, you know.
Okay.
You don't just come and know what you want to do. And for the most part, because of insecurity, if you have any reason or any opportunity to flee, just flee.
well, it has been a very interesting one, and it's simple and straightforward. there are lots of reasons why people leave Africa or leave Nigeria in, the Japa syndrome. Most importantly, I know, and for sure, it's based on the economy, infrastructure, and some people, it's for their own education. Because some people, after education, they go back. Some, they stay. But for greener pasture, which is talking about economy, infrastructure, and living a better life, I know that's why most people back from Nigeria. With this, we'll call it a wrap. And
Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
guys
me.
for having
Doctor,
me.
and
Thank you.
we'll appreciate everybody. And
Thank you.
if you want to come, be ready to work.
Stay tuned, guys.
Thank
Yes.
you.